So before we continue, I want to let you know those videos we made them just to share with you the knowledge or what we learned from installing and removing parts. So I want you to subscribe to the channel right now. Click on the bell notification to get all the videos on time and leave your question. We're gonna respond to them just after this video. So how we're gonna work?
Very easy. What are we gonna do? There is a clamps right here. You're just gonna have to take it off. There is a 10mm bolt right here. You have to take it off. So here, this hose, you're gonna have to take it off. And on the throttle body hose, so there is a clamps, a hose clamps like that. You have to take it off. After that, all you gotta do is just pull this out. We're gonna leave this aside. All right, here is our starter. So what are we gonna do? Let me put gloves on. So we're gonna disconnect the starter. So we're gonna disconnect the signal wire that going to the starter, and we also gonna test to see if we got the power coming to it. And after that, so we're gonna check the starter directly. So let me see if I can disconnect the plug. Okay, so I got the plug out. Here's the plug. First thing that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go look for any tools, electrical tools. Let me take this one. Let me take this one. Let me take this red one. Alright, so we got that. We're gonna come back to the shop, to the car. So we're gonna stick this in here. Alright, so I'm gonna stick this on the wire. The next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a power probe. Use my power probe. So I'm gonna stick this to the negative spark, any ground on the body of the car, and this gonna goes on the positive spark, anywhere right here. There you go. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stick this to that. All right, as you already see, we got a signal to that 1 volt. That 1 volt. So I'm gonna see if I can turn the key on to the start position. I'm gonna try to crank it, see if the voltage. Let me see if I can place this on the position where I can see. I'm trying to place this in the position where I can see. Let me put something behind it to hold it like this. Alright, I can see got 1 volt. Yep. Okay. So that's when we got power coming to it. Now, the next step is gonna be, I'm gonna send power directly to the starter, see if it's gonna crank. If it's crank, so that's mean the starter is good. We might have some other issue, I don't know, with the wire, but I know the wire is good already because we already tested. So let me take that off. The next step, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna try to stick it directly to the signal connector on the starter. Alright, so it's right in there. And the next step, I'm gonna try to send power directly to the starter with my power probe, see if it's gonna crank. So then You hear that? Okay, so that's telling me that pretty much we have a bad starter, right? So, but not yet. The next step, I'm gonna go to the starter, to the crankshaft pulley, trying to see if I can spin the engine before I even say the starter is bad. If we have a lock engine, so the starter is not gonna spin free. So I'm gonna turn the crank, see if the engine can move. If the engine is moving, that's mean we know for sure that we have a bad starter. So I think it's a 22 millimeter. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go to the crank. I don't know if you see it. Easy. It's right there. Alright. I'm gonna try to spin it. As you can see, it's spin free. Alright. It's spin with no restriction. That's mean we need to replace the starter. I'm gonna make an estimate, call the customer and give him the price for the starter. Alright. So here we go. We'll come back for the starter replacement. So the first thing that we're gonna do to replace the starter, we're gonna remove this positive wire right here. So which is, I think it's a 15 millimeter. So I'm gonna look for 15 range. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna remove this positive wire from the battery cable out. So now here's the starter right here. It got two bolts, one's on the top and one's on one's right here, one right here. Probably, I don't know if he got three, but what I'm seeing in there is probably a two bolts. But sounds like I'm gonna have to remove the bracket from this throttle body, and the best way to get that out, it's better than I remove the throttle body, leave the throttle, get the throttle body out of my way. Yeah, like I said earlier, so there is 14 millimeter bolts that you have to take off to take the throttle body out, and there was a 13 millimeter bolt that you have to take off right here to get the throttle body out. And you to disconnect the throttle body, all you gotta do is just squeeze both sides of the connector and you pull it out. And after that, we got those two 15 millimeter bolts, one bolting the ground to the starter and the other one on the bottom right here. Let me see if I can get a flashlight. All right. See, I can get the flashlight close. So we got this 15 millimeter bolt that you have to take out, and this other 15. And after that, all you gotta do is back up the starter. Back up the starter to pull it out. So all you gotta do is just play with it. So nothing, it's easy on this world. All you gotta do is just play with it, and you're gonna get it out. There you go. So once you get it out, you're gonna put it all the way up. Put it all the way up like that. And there was another 13 millimeter bolt that's bolting the powers that come into the hot wire that's coming to the starter. So I'm just gonna remove those this 13 millimeter bolt.